Good morning, everybody. MG here. MGCovers bringing you a brand new sports handicapping video. Title of this video is Adjustments to the NCAA Basketball Handicapping. Super cool video. You're going to learn a lot. Before we dive into the video, as always, if you want to follow me on social media, I'm MGCovers, cover spelled with a Z. Give out a ton of content on Instagram. So if you're not following me there, you get a lot of value simply by following me on Instagram. Also MGCovers on Twitter as well. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, greatly appreciate you subscribing to the channel. And with that, we're going to dive into the contest. Here's the deal. I promised I would give away a couple memberships for the coaching program, which is you get access to all the online coaching videos that I have. We pump out one a week, so there's 50 from last year, and then whatever we have left over from the previous 2 years. As well as access to all of my power rankings each day. So what I want you to do, if you want to be entered into, if you're a subscriber, you're watching this video, send me an email at mgcovers.com. In the subject line, type in contest, and then in the email, all you have to do is type in your name, first and last name, and email address, and I'll figure out a random way to pick two. So I'm going to give away two memberships. Again, you get access to the coaching program for 30 days, absolutely free. It's a way to thank you guys for subscribing, getting us to 1,000 subscribers. If you're a client and a subscriber, just sit tight. I got another contest I'm going to do for clients as well this month. So again, send me an email, mg@mgcovers.com. The heading, type in contest in the actual email, first and last name, email address, and we'll try to announce those over the weekend. All right, so let's dive into this video. We're going to talk about some adjustments we're going to make to college basketball. And one thing I'm really focusing on this year is consolidating my own handicapping, as well as making the handicapping process a lot easier for clients. And so what I've realized too is, just to go ahead and tell you what we're doing, I'm actually going to focus exclusively on home teams. Now, why would we do this? Well, as you know, home teams in college basketball win at a high margin. They win 71% of the time. They don't cover 71% of the time. They only cover 50% of the time. But what we do know is that in conjunction with my power rankings, the stat model, it's a very good stat model. It's going to increase our accuracy, and I'll show you that here when we go through this. So this is what we call a statistical property of a sport. And one thing you notice too, I like to play a lot of moneyline dogs in college basketball. However, way dogs only cash in 21% of the time. That's down slightly this year. Favorites winning 75% of the time. So by focusing exclusively on home teams, we know that they're going to win 71% of the time. Even when you have a team that's an underdog, very difficult to win on the road in college basketball. So what you're looking at now, this is just to go through this. I send this out. Clients have access to this every single day. And what this is, just a sort of graph. It shows my line, sportsbook line, our line -7. This is something new I discovered. And those of you that are building models, man, I'm always looking at ways to not necessarily change the model, but to improve it. Is there something inside my model that I'm noticing? And what I realized was teams that are -7 via my line, not sportsbook line, via my line, tend to win and cover at a high percentage. So even though there might not be value, I'll give you a couple examples, and we'll look at that. Even though a team might not have value, and what I mean by value, like Boston here, it was -6, sportsbook line was -2.5, so that's value. Whereas if you look at Murray State was -8, but then the sportsbook line was -20. So there's no value that way, but we still know that if they're -7 or greater, my line, they have a tendency to win and cover at a high margin. And then, of course, this checkbox is a value if they have value and good form, and then home team, which is what we're going to look at in this video, and if there's favorable line movement. I kind of made up this chart, and clients, again, have access to this every day. So, all right, so let's just dive through all the games. So the first one we look at is Navy -6.5. This is from yesterday, January 13th, 2022. Navy, this was a loss here. Murray State was -8. They were -20 at the sports book. However, if we come over here, let's take a look at. And I've been sick this week, so if you hear me cough, I do apologize because I'm probably going to cough. Murray State, see what I'm saying? Even though it was -20, they still end up covering that line by 3. And of course, they were, only -8 my line. Next one, Texas State, -14. My line, they were -8 at Sportsbook. So we had the -7 working in our favor. We had value, and they were home team. They win. Lamar ends up losing. Scroll down to the next one, North Dakota. They were even. They were at +9. You get that a lot. A home team. Let's take a look at that one. Yeah, because even though they were huge underdogs, still difficult for Western Illinois. I'm not sure. I think North Dakota may have been leading some of that game. Not sure. But anyway, they do cover. Slide back over here. Nebraska, Omaha, same type deal there. They were even. They were +15 at home. And you could see here, I think that was close. Yeah. And played South Dakota State pretty hard there. Only lost by, 9? So did cover the number there. Scrolling down, Grand Canyon. We actually played this one. They were -13. Sportsbook, my line, -3.5 at the books. So we got the -7 in our favor. We had value, and they were home team, and they pretty much blew out Abilene Christian. And Long Beach State, that was a good one there. Long Beach State was -1. They were +4 at the books. Home team, they actually won. I think that one was a close one there. Late. Let's pull that one up. Yep. 165 over UC Santa Barbara, home team. And then, of course, we had UCLA -7. They were -10 at the books. They got upset last night. They lost. And then, finally, the last one, Texas Tech, they were -10. My line, -7.5 at the books. Actually, I should have checked that. We didn't normally have the value that I like to have, at least 5 points, but there was a little bit of value. But they were -10, and they were at home. And, of course, they won. Let's see if we can find that game up here. I think they won pretty convincingly there over Texas Tech. So if you add all that up, you can see here they went 7-3. That's just, I don't know if this blows up or not. Can I blow this up? Maybe not. So we went 7-3 yesterday. So the last 3 days, just exclusively focusing on home teams, went 21-7. This was the day before. You could see a couple concepts there. That one I was talking about, the -9. Moorhead was -9. Sportsbook line was -14. So that's a really, really, really cool thing that I discovered in my model. And, it's just one of those things. If you take a successful model, or maybe a model that's not working, and you can sort of tweak, and sometimes you can find things that work like that. So anyway, real solid way to handicap. And the beautiful thing is that not only for myself, but also clients. So really, when I talk about consolidating your handicapping, so instead of handicapping all of these games you see here, you can just exclusively come in here and just focus on the home teams. So it's less games to handicap, or you can just exclusively play home teams. Now, would I recommend playing, full units on this? Probably not. Let's say if you were like a $100 player, there was 10 home teams, you could play, 1/10 unit, so that you're not risking more than 1 full unit per day. You could do it that way, or just, maybe play at, 1/5 unit, like 15, $20 a game. Do it that way, because these teams are going to win and cover at a very, very high percentage, as you can see from that. Now, I want to dive over into NHL just to show you the same sort of concept thing that I'm working on. This was from yesterday for NHL. This is what we call a play against concept. Now, some of the numbers have changed because this model's updated where I scrape stats. So there's one line in here that's a little bit jacked up. But what the play against concept, very similar to how I'm doing college basketball handicapping. We're just focusing on one concept. So here what I'm doing is we're focusing on playing against teams that are plus 150. And, plus 150 converts into a 40% win percentage. What I mean by that is that's what that line actually converts into. So if you see a team that's plus 150, my line, they only have a, quote, 40% chance of winning. So we play against that team. Carolina lost to Columbus. Really bizarre game there. They got blown out. Scroll down here to Seattle. St. Louis. This actually, again, this includes stats from today because the model updates daily. But Seattle was plus 150. St. Louis actually won that one, came back late. Seattle playing their third game in 4 days. So that one was a win. And then we come over here to, this was the big one here. Ottawa was minus 130, my line. Calgary was plus 150. That may have been like minus 120 because this, again, it took a while for it to update. And what I want to show you is you would think that you would not get a lot of value by doing it this way. You actually do, because sometimes you can get some real favorable lines. Ottawa was plus 240 cashed. So you look at my model there, we had Calgary at plus 150. It was actually the opposite. Ottawa should have been favored there. And then, of course, taking a look at the Rangers, San Jose. Rangers minus 130, and San Jose was plus 150. And Rangers won that one convincingly, 3-0. And you can see here, if you take a look at this Pittsburgh-LA game, the reason why I like this is a really good way to handicap. You can see here, Pittsburgh was minus 150. LA Kings were plus 120 and 1. Again, plus 120 via my line is a lot different than the plus 150. So by just focusing on playing against the teams that are plus 150 gives you a very high percentage chance of cashing that ticket. As you can see here, yesterday it goes 2-2. Is that, yeah. No, 3-1, I guess, looking at it this way. It depends on, I actually played, St. Louis played it at, I think it was minus 171, which is a little bit higher than normal. But again, knowing that Seattle was plus 150. And of course, if the lines get too high, like in this situation here, Carolina was, let's see. Yeah, we did play Carolina. So we played them on the puck line, even though it was a loss. So minus, let's see what that was, see if it shows it here. Let's take a look at line movement here. So you could have played it. Yeah, it was like, I think I played it at minus 110, 1.5. So sometimes you'll see that if you use this concept, the play against concept, you may end up having to play a team on the puck line. And they do cover a lot doing it that way. So anyway, so just two simple concepts. I know this was an NCAA basketball, but I want to show you, and I'm going to try to do this for pretty much all sports this year. Just a very simple way to handicap by using the home team. We get that statistical property of a home team with a high percentage chance of winning, in addition to my power rankings, which is a really solid way to cap. If you want access to these power rankings, you could do so. It's $49.95 per month. It gives you access to not only all of my lines every day, but also coaching videos. If you want access to all my plays, that's $99 per month. You get access to coaching videos, all my lines for all sports, in addition to all my plays. If you want to join for a year, really solid way to do it. I recommend this. You'll learn a ton in a year. It's almost like committing yourself to a full year learning about sports handicapping videos, sports handicapping business. That is normally $100 a month. If you add it up, that would be $1,200. If you pay up front a full year, it's $499. So really incredible deal there. And one last thing too, I want to cover this. One thing I'm doing this year with all my social media, if you're 1% negative, 99% positive, you're going to get blocked. So keep that in mind when you're commenting. Again, not like I'm better than anybody else, but I'm saying I'm not dealing with any negativity, even just a small amount. So if you comment, if it's negative, you can get blocked from the channel. But that being said, I greatly appreciate everybody subscribing. Again, enter that contest. We'll pick 2 winners to get a free membership over the weekend. The link to join is in the description box. Hope this video helped, and we'll talk to you guys soon. Peace.